Will all those who are able please stand?
Good morning. My name is Michael Cairo, and I am the Interim Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of Transylvania University. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our 2019 commencement ceremony. To begin the ceremony, I invite Tiaja Martin, Assistant Director of Diversity and Campus Engagement, to come to the platform to perform our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we'd watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does their star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Ms. Martin. I would now like to invite Dr. Paul Jones, Professor of Religion, to offer the invocation. Professor Jones is retiring this year after 34 years of dedicated service to the university.
Please join me in prayer, or if you prefer, a moment of reflection. Creating and caring God, who is beyond the reach of our highest thought, yet available to our every need, come to us, we pray, in all the purity of light, in all the tenderness of love, and in all the liberty of truth. Be present to us, most magnanimous and mysterious Spirit, as we celebrate the core values of Transylvania University: the life of the mind, the cultivation of the self, and compassionate service to our world. Replace our greed with your generosity. Embolden us to love people more than power, to reject the demagoguery of hatred and bigotry, and to embolden the virtues of respect and dignity for all your children. We especially ask your blessings upon our graduates and their families. As we recognize their accomplishments, remind us afresh of our dependence upon you. Enlarge within us our sense of kinship, one to another. Prepare us for our new lives of shared responsibility, and empower us to be agents of reconciliation and justice, and ambassadors of shalom, peace, salam. Amen.
Thank you, Professor Jones. Please be seated. This is a very special day, marking the 225th time we have gathered to celebrate the accomplishments and academic achievements of our graduating seniors and to recognize the completion of their program of study. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, administration, faculty, and staff, I extend congratulations to the class of 2019 and greetings to their parents, families, and guests. I would also like to express my appreciation to our faculty marshals, our junior marshals, and all those who have worked so hard to make this ceremony possible. Unfortunately, President Kerry is not able to be with us today due to a death in his family. He sends his regrets and best wishes to our graduates and their families. At this time, I would like to remind guests to please silence their cell phones. And now it is my privilege to introduce the platform party. Please stand and remain standing when I call your name. Please hold your applause until the end of the introductions. Dr. John Williams, representative of the Board of Trustees. Mr. Deo Niyizonkiza, founder and CEO of Village Health Works and our keynote speaker. Dr. Holly Shealy, Vice President for Enrollment and Student Life. Ms. Presli Neal, member of the class of 2019 and our student speaker. Dr. Veronica Dean Thacker, Professor of Spanish representing the Division of Humanities. Dr. Brian Rich, Professor of Sociology representing the Division of Social Sciences. Dr. Timothy Solis, Professor of Writing, Rhetoric, and Communication representing the Division of Fine Arts. Dr. Kim Jenkins, Professor of Mathematics representing the Division of Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Reverend Carol L. Devine, Class of '89, President of the Transylvania University Alumni Board. Platform party, please be seated. In the audience are our respected members of the Board of Trustees and the Board of Regents. I ask that you stand and be recognized. Thank you. We greatly appreciate the immense support our alumni show our students and our university. Would our alumni please stand to be recognized? Transylvania University is fortunate to have a dedicated and distinguished faculty. I would like to thank and recognize my colleagues who have instructed, guided, and mentored these graduates. Their unwavering support has helped our graduates achieve this milestone in their lives. We are also proud to have the continued support of our esteemed faculty emeriti. Will the faculty and faculty emeriti please stand and be recognized? Each year, a student representative is selected to speak on behalf of the class. This year's speaker is Presli Neal. Presli is a neuroscience major with an emphasis in psychology. Over her years at Transylvania, she has been a member of the Student Government Association, the Pre-Health Club, the Pre-Physician Assistant Club, the STEM Empowerment Club, and Phi Mu. She is the recipient of the Pioneer Scholarship, the R.A. Arnsparger MD Scholarship, and the Keeneland Association Scholarship. Following graduation, Presli will work at CSL Plasma as a phlebotomist and plasma technician. She plans to eventually work in pediatrics or emergency medicine. Presli, will you please come to the podium?
Good morning to all of you gathered here to celebrate the class of 2019, faculty, staff, family, friends, and, of course, students. If you are anything like me, the last few weeks have sparked mixed emotions when thinking about graduating and officially being considered adults in the real world, even if you don't quite feel like you are one yet. I sure don't. About a month ago, I was cleaning out old folders and notebooks from over my years here at Transy, and I found a letter that I had written to myself during August term of 2015, not to be opened until I was about to graduate. Now, I had honestly completely forgotten about writing this letter, and I thought to myself, were you really that cheesy as a first year? Obviously I was, but I'm glad I wrote it. The letter was comprised of a list of advice to myself, inspirational quotes, and things I hope to accomplish by the end of my senior year. Although it has 20-something bullets, 2 points stood out and really stuck with me. The first said, and I quote, "Don't you dare eat grilled cheese every day for lunch." Okay. The second point I wrote to myself, which is a little more serious, said, "No matter the destination, take time to enjoy the path." Many of you are leaving here and continuing your education, whether it is medical school, law school, dentistry, business school, the list goes on and on. Others are going to be teachers, some are taking a gap year or working, and a few are even traveling the world. No matter what your specific destination is, we can't deny that together we have had one wildly unique path here at Transy. I mean, think about it. We were one of the last groups to all live under the roof of 4. Now say what you want about that building, but you can't deny that it brought us close together and fostered some really special memories. The rounds of putt-putt that were played in the halls, the morning conversations while 15 people were brushing their teeth in one bathroom, the fact that second front was always the place to be, or even the fire alarms that went off at 3 in the morning. Each experience caused us all to share something in common, uniting us and allowing us to form a unique bond that has lasted over the past 4 years. This is why Transy is such a special institution. In the midst of a liberal arts education with a high academic standard, we have had one another to lean on, count on, and support. We have supported one another's school organizations and philanthropies. We have cheered one another on during finals, and we have come together when tragedy struck and we lost one of our own peers. The openness, the genuity, and the love that we have for one another is truly magical. And I can say with confidence that not every college, even ones with a relatively small population like ours, is capable of that. It is that love, that humor, and that sympathy that I believe has made our path at Transy enjoyable and memorable. And those same factors will allow us to create genuine connections with anyone we meet, no matter which direction our individual paths take us. Michelle Tillis Letterman, an author and CEO who is named by Forbes as one of the top 25 professional networking experts, comments on forming relationships and says that whether they stem from business or personal situations, our relationships are what support us, connect us, and allow us to progress in all aspects of our lives. As you advance in society, take time to reflect on the relationships you have made here at Transy. Think of your advisors, mentors, professors, coaches, and peers. Think of how we stood on this exact lawn 4 years ago and shook each other's hands and introduced ourselves. Then think about how you have reached for some of those same hands in times of need over your years here. Think about how they have all impacted you and aided in your own self-discovery. And as you do, I hope you recognize that you have also influenced those around you. Transylvania, in true liberal arts fashion, has provided us a set of skills to question the world around us, to think deeply about who we are and how we can impact others. In class of 2019, I am positive that no matter what you do, you will greatly impact the world around you and will continue to treat others with kindness and love. A university is a university, but it is the people who attend that make it a home. And I am so thankful to share this home and path with each of you. And just in case you are wondering, I did not eat a grilled cheese every day for lunch. Thank you and congratulations, class of 2019. We did it.
Thank you, Presli. It is now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Niyizonkiza. Deo is the visionary founder and CEO of Village HealthWorks and a leading advocate for the most impoverished people in the world. His compassion, expertise, and life experience have made him a key voice in global health and international development. An American citizen, Deo was born in rural Burundi, where he attended grade school and part of medical school. He left the country during the catastrophic war that lasted more than a decade and took the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. He survived not only this tragedy, but poverty and homelessness in New York City. Despite the hurdles of homelessness, illness, and low-paying work, Deo eventually enrolled at Columbia University, where he received a bachelor's degree in biochemistry and philosophy. He then attended the Harvard School of Public Health and Dartmouth Medical School. In 2005, Deo returned to Burundi to establish Village HealthWorks with the goal of removing barriers to human dignity and progress by creating a healthcare system model. Deo's success in building an entirely community-driven health and development organization is unprecedented and makes Village HealthWorks unique among NGOs. Deo is the recipient of numerous awards, including the Carnegie Foundation of New York's 2016 Great Immigrant, the 2016 Burundi Presidential Medal, and the 2014 Dalai Lama's Unsung Heroes Award. Deo's life journey is told in Tracy Kidder's Pulitzer Prize-winning book, Strength in What Remains, a New York Times bestseller. Please welcome Deo to this podium.
Class of 2019, good morning and congratulations. It is an honor and a privilege for me to be with you on this special day in your life. Thank you so much for inviting me. I would like to share with you my brief story, not because it's worthy or more important than anyone else, but because it's the story I know best, and because it illustrates so dramatically that the simple act of caring for a stranger can have consequences more beautiful, more far-reaching, and more world-changing than you might ever imagine. In 2005, I was coming back from Burundi and Rwanda, and I was traveling on a green card and Burundian passport. When I arrived at JFK, I was asked by the immigration officer where I was born, and I said Burundi. He's searching on his computer Burundi, he couldn't find Burundi. And he asked me, where exactly were you born? I said Burundi. And he searched and he asked me, are you sure it's not Burma? And I said, it was Burundi when I left. A few years ago, Strength in What Remains came out, and then I started bumping into people who were reading Strength in What Remains. And that happened yesterday as I was landing in Cincinnati coming here. This man is sitting next to me, is reading Strength in What Remains. I didn't say a word, and then we were rushing to get off the plane. He looked at me and he asked me, where are you from? I said, from New York City. And he looked at me, he said, you have an accent. I said, you do too. Don't we all? And they said, well, I'm asking you where you were born. And I said, well, that's a different question. I said, Africa. And he said, but which country? Burundi. He's looking at me. Long story short, I end up signing the book, and he looked at me, why are you signing the book? And I said, it's about me. It's not an exaggeration to say that my struggle to survive the trauma of war and homelessness in New York City would have turned my life into dust were it not for the kindness of my adopted American parents, Nancy and Charlie Wolf, who would otherwise be considered strangers, a word I use with both respect and caution. Respect for strangers because I would argue they are the source of the most profound of human experiences, the beautiful and the ugly. Caution, because I'm not convinced that we are ever strangers, even when, and perhaps especially when, our otherness is used to justify brutality and war. A year ago, I had the privilege to be here with Tracy Kita for Canon Conversation, and I shared my experiences founding and serving my organization, Village Health Works, in my native Burundi. Many of the students had read my life journey in Tracy's book, Strength in What Remains, but I know most of you were not present for that, so I invite you to join me for a few moments on my journey. In 2005, after 11 years in the US, I went back to Burundi. I knew that my native country had suffered a lot, but what I saw was unspeakable. There were patients watching themselves die in destroyed, repulsive hospitals with no doctors, no medications. I looked into many people's faces and wondered, in such conditions, how can anyone find happiness again? It was so heartbreaking for me that I couldn't focus on anything else anymore. My thoughts were bent on how to bring dignified community-supported medical services to the destitute sick, and how to create a model that could be replicated throughout Burundi and far beyond its borders. It seemed like a pipe dream. I was so often afraid that even my closest friends would think of me as a madman if I told them about my crazy ideas. It was such a nightmare for me to have to struggle with how to explain to my friends that I escaped and left Burundi, but Burundi and the childhood friends I lost from senseless deaths and other totally preventable tragedies never left my mind or my heart. 4 years trying to recover from the trauma of war, I reflected on my childhood life and concluded that Hutus and Tutsis were not created by God to kill each other. It was only the abject poverty and the lack of both education based on critical thinking and access to quality health care that caused this tragedy. It became clear to me that the collapse of education and the healthcare systems is the greatest threat to civility, development, and peace. When I was in Burundi in December 2005, I began to engage the traumatized community in my village, and I asked them to think of what it would take to come together, put our tragic history aside, and build a model clinic that the community would own. At first, I encountered skepticism and suspicion, but in the end, that idea helped them light the spark of their own optimism, which they had extinguished by the horrors they had lived through. It was the community who donated the land to Village Health Works, the land being the only commodity they had. It was the community who was desperate, poor, dispirited, and disempowered, many former enemies, who became enthusiastic collaborators in a pioneering project and who made the bricks to start the foundation of a 50-bed clinic, which is soon going to become a 150-bed state-of-the-art teaching hospital. Through the process of building Village Health Works, local community members, men and women, who overcame unspeakable tragedies, started healing from the trauma of war, cultivating trust and becoming good neighbors and friends again. We rediscovered civility. We remembered how to rely on one another, bound by mutual responsibility. Today, this reliance on the other extends far beyond the community we serve in Burundi. An increasing number of friends from around the world are behind our vision, which was seen in its infancy as pure hallucination, to say the least. Our hard journey has made all the difference in so many lives. Doctors from the US and Europe come to Burundi to help patients in our clinic. Educators volunteer to lead Teacher trainings, economists, engineers, and agronomists offer their expertise to our staff. Donations of time, money, and skills of people who are strangers to the people of Burundi, but feel tied to their well-being, have made our rural community feel welcomed into the world community again. That restores our self-respect, dignity, and our hope. And my American friends who have joined to care for strangers have deepened their own dignity and added to their own store of hope too. It has expanded their sense of citizenship, of civility. Being able to serve a cause that matters beyond oneself is a privilege and an honor. It surely has been one I am most proud of. I also believe that giving to strangers creates a balance in the world, a balance to human beings' long, ugly history of taking from strangers, probably beginning when one proto-hominid knocked another with a bone and took his delicious saber-toothed tego steak. The history of taking from strangers may have reached its heights in the imperial plan of the African continent. But wherever we are in the world, giving to strangers gets the balance right again. And from a place of balance, anything becomes possible. It's a transformative foundation, and I can tell you so many stories showing how Village Earthworks is transforming lives. I often use the word lucky in telling my own story, and of course, lucky is how much of it felt to me. But luck came in the form of the kindness of others, like my beloved adopted parents, Nancy and Charlie Wolf. On this day of your graduation, my friends, and as you step forward into the adventure that will be your next chapter, I would like to ask you to meditate on the luck that you were born with and the luck you've accumulated, the luck of your upbringing, and the luck of a great education. All of that luck, even the luck to be able to work hard towards your goals, comes from the kindness and the compassion of those we know and those we don't, strangers. You have been privileged to have a president, a wonderful faculty that fosters an environment in which you have learned about the awful inequalities in the world, the appalling disparities of health and wealth and opportunity. You have been lucky to be at such a beautiful university that has given you the opportunities to become involved with the community around you as a part of your education, as a way of showing you how to turn towards these problems, to care and engage. The choice is yours. You have made many wonderful choices, but who am I really to tell you what to do next? But here's my hard work advice. Continue to choose to serve, to give back, to teach, to inspire others, and to pursue acts of kindness and compassion. Choose civility. Choose to be citizens who are not just out to make a living, but who are living to make a difference. Choose to do this for those near to you and for those we call strangers, with whom you have little in common but your humanity. Choose to learn from your own challenges, our challenges, then have the courage to step out of them and our history so that we can become global citizens, living every day with compassion, curiosity, humility, and gratitude. In doing so, my friends, you will make our world a better, safer, and more peaceful place. The future is all yours. I can personally attest that good deeds sustain long after the original action, often growing and expanding in ways that no one can predict. Thank you so very much for allowing me to share these reflections with you on this joyful day of your graduation from Transylvania University. I very much wish you the very best. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Dale. We now have the honor of recognizing Transylvania University's recipients of the Bachelor of Arts degree. Will the class of 2019 please rise? Dr. Williams, it is my pleasure to present these candidates of the class of 2019 to you, who upon the fulfillment of all the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Arts have been recommended for graduation by the faculty of Transylvania University and approved by its Board of Trustees. I request that you confer upon them the degree to which they are entitled, with all the rights and privileges thereto.
Thank you, Dr. Cairo. William T. Young, Jr., Chair of the Board of Trustees, was unable to be with us this morning and asked me to speak with the graduates on behalf of the trustees, and it's indeed my pleasure. It's my pleasure to, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the university and through the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the Commonwealth of Kentucky, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, graduates.
Please be seated. To begin, we would like to recognize Brittany Alley, who was a beloved member of the Transylvania University community. Brittany passed away in the spring of 2017 during her sophomore year. As she is not able to be with us on this day of celebration, let us honor her memory with a moment of silence. We will now recognize the individual achievements of our graduates. Marshals, please escort the class of 2019 to the stage. Out of consideration for all of our attendees, I would like to remind our guests in the audience to please remain seated while we recognize our graduates. There will be an opportunity to take photos on the platform following the ceremony. The names of our class of 2019 will now be read in alphabetical order by faculty representatives from our 4 academic divisions.
Nadine Nujud Abul Kudud. William Clayton Adams IV, in absentia. Tipton Lee Alexander. Isabella Gabrielle Angelina Alonso. Kesua Amomensa. Andre Lance Antoine II. Brandon Phelan Bailey. Nicholas Miller Bailey. Rylan Suzanne Banks. Dorothy Ellison Barfield. Meredith Kelly Barton. Isaac Batts. Lauren Deanne Beams. Allison Suzanne Benz. Jack Robert Berger. Allison Nicole Bergman. Abigail Myers Blackburn, in absentia. Haley Arthur Blackburn. Rebecca Blankenship, in absentia. Anna Marie Bond. Javik Bolese Bosele. Darby Wayland Burden. Maya Elizabeth Bowen. Jewel Elizabeth Boyd. Caroline Brown Briggs. Bailey Mackenzie Browning. Kirsten Nicole Bruther. Allison Renee Brutcher. Bailey Marie Brutcher. Jennifer Ray Buckman. Caitlin Elizabeth Beagle. Lydia Berenice Bulnes. Katherine Louise Burns. Christopher Michael Burton, Jr. Jacob Kenneth Cahill. Benjamin Chase Caldwell. Catherine Ellen Caperton. Emily Elizabeth Chapman. Daniel Alexander Cherry. Parrish Tom Chu. Katie Elaine Clark, in absentia. Caroline Elizabeth Clevenger. Daniel Patrick Cooper. Brogan D'Angelo Christ. Abigail Elizabeth Cullen. Brenna Lee D'Amico. Zelinda Kerrigan Davis. Jessica Lauren Dees. Emily Maxine Dent. Mackenzie Morgan Dent. Lyndon Stewart Diggins. Patrick Joseph Dragon. Rebecca Maria Duff. Kyler Brendan Dougal. Jordan Alexandra Dunaway. William Kenneth Easley. Razik Karim Yusuf El Amin. Emily Christine Ellis.
José Alfredo Espinosa. Kelsey Jean Eversole. Sarah Colleen Ewan. Rebecca Alexandra Factor. Peyton Kazra Fakalpur. Rachel Elizabeth Farmer. Leah Catherine Farr. Christina Marie Federley. Donovan Lee Finan. Diana Evelyn Fitzovich. Logan Hughes Fogel. Macy Dale Ford. Nicole Amber Fox. Ethan Paul Franklin. Christina Frazee. Emily K. Fulkerson. Madison Page Gallagher. Shelby Renee Gambrel. Justin David Gariani. Katherine Ruth Gillespie. Megan Lee Goins, in absentia. Sydney Ellen Gooding. William Lawrence Grash. Kyle Patrick Gullett. John David Hale. Michael Salem Hanna. Alyssa Chantel Harrison. Emily Sandra Hayes. Kristen Deshay Hayes. Colin J. Henderson, in absentia. Angie Nicole Hyland. Rachel Sue Horde. Samuel Caleb Hodson. Joseph Daniel Howard. Bailey Madison Hull. Malik Jackson. Taylor Lenora Jackson. Christian Timothy Jasper. Jackson Allen Jeffries. Lindsay Taylor Jenkins. Jatali Jamnani. Nicholas Javier Johnston Alva. Hogan David Jones. Stanley Hines Jones. Tyler Gage Joy Brandon. Trevor Joel Cassis, in absentia. Olivia Hannah Key. Michael Ryan Kern. Jordan Marie King. Celia Jane Klein. Jordan Michelle Kramer. Madeline Lane Loeffler. Shelby Ann Lewis. Reagan Louise Linton. Meg Suzanne Leiter. Zachary Dale Clayton Little. Sydney Marie Lococo.
Katherine Lane Lopez. Jocelyn Lucero. Landon Michael Lynch. Samara Ricarda Lyons. Michael Garland Maggard. Carrie Elizabeth Mahagan. Daniel Allen Martell II. Erin Kathleen Martin. Matthew Kyle Martin. Daniel Meyer McCarthy. William Thomas McClure. Nathan Arthur McCullough. Katherine McDonald. Christina Renee Meeks. Mara Grace Merchant. Keith Lacey Merson. Madison Suzanne Miles. Joshua Andrew Miller. Mackenzie Marie Miller. Taylor Robert Miller. Alexis Mariah Mitchell. Hannah Marie Mooney. Brian Jeffrey Mudrack. Brittany Page Mumford. Presli Jean Neal. Christian Lee Paco Nichols. Julia Margaret Nelson. Noelle Alicia Obata. Charlie Amore Oldenwelder. Emma Werner Oliver. Bronson Quaid Paddock. Jason Kyle Pasteur. Carolyn Alicia Patrick. Jair Ramses Pedroza. Alexander Rice Baez Petrocelli. Jenna Brooke Phelps. Amber Dawn Phillips. Austin Michael Phillips. Christine Ashley Phipps. Jennifer Riley Pinto. Madison Kathleen West Plucknett. Shelby Madison Payline. Gregory Logan Porter. Joshua Caleb Porter. Jessica Nicole Powell. Gabriella Kathleen Prevo. Robert Scott Prince. Hannah Shea Pritchett. Megan Ashley Quackenbush. Jonathan David Race. Tristan Patrick Antisevsky Reynolds. Alexis Ann Rogers. Alexis Danielle Rubin. Colin Alexander Ruig. Jessie Marie Samuel. Sarah Nicole Schaff. John Christopher Schaefer.
Megan Ellen Shondel. Sonora Janae Shuck. Bo Michael Shu. Tyler David Shaver. Sarah Elizabeth Shea. David Alfred Shearer III. Thomas Patrick Schellenberg. Joseph Leonard Shermock. Molly Taylor Sherrard. Monica Lee Shotwell. Marcus Perry Siriano. Destiny Elise Smith. Graham Caleb Smith. Rachel Ann Smith. Jenna Day Soderling. Etar Sosa. Scott Anthony Southall. Ryan Allen Staley. Amberly Rose Stemmer. Bailey Rain Stevens. Jenna Ray Stiles. Heath Stiltner. Rachel Ann Stone. Anthony Tyler Stumbo. Pranav Tamil Sullivan. Isaac Wayne Taylor. Sarah Elizabeth Teasdale. Cooper George Theobald. Tristan Nathaniel Thielmeyer. Taylor Rose Thompson. Grace Carolyn Tommy. Madison Riley Townsend. Brandon Charles Trapp. Zachary Todd Trilobes. Ganesh Sheshraj Tul Shibagwale. Pearl U Tehemoka. Christopher Blake Urbanek. Webb Pruitt Van Meter. Min Ong Vu. Mary Caitlin Wallace. Cecilia Holly Walton. Stephanie Arianas Wayne. Adriana Rain Wells. Jacob Ryan West. Olivia Lee Whaley. Caitlin Elizabeth Wheeler. Devin Michael White. Anna Markham Wilcoxon. Jamie Allison Wilder. Caitlin Nicole Wilkerson. Josephine Elizabeth Willis. Emma K. Wilson. Abigail Lane Woody. Austin Tanner Wright, in absentia. Guy Young, in absentia. Blake Begley Young. Yaya Jang.
Please join me in congratulating our 2019 graduates. They're standing for you. I now invite Reverend Carol Devine, class of 1989 and president of the Transylvania Alumni Board, to the podium. Reverend Devine graduated from Transylvania with a degree in psychology. She received a master's degree from UK and a Master of Divinity from Lexington Theological Seminary. She has been the senior minister at Providence Christian Church since April 2012. Her son, Elijah Hack, is a 2017 Transylvania graduate. Reverend Devine.
Good morning, 2019 graduates. It is my blessing and honor on behalf of the Transylvania Alumni Board and TU alumni everywhere to extend heartfelt congratulations to you on this memorable day. Whether you realized it or not, the alumni community has walked with you and supported you since your first day on this campus. Alumni show up every year on the first day that new students move into the dorms. For you all, we helped your families unload your cars and hiked all those boxes up and down the steps of Fore Hall. So many steps. Alumni also serve as mentors in the 100 Doors program, help with the great folks in the Office of Admissions, provide internships. We support a legacy scholarship. We show up to all kinds of Transy events and created the beautiful Alumni Plaza that is behind Old Morrison. Transy alumni give generously of their time, talent, and financial resources because we love Transy. We have walked with you and cheered you on in visible and invisible ways, and now we are so excited to journey with you in new ways. After you received your diploma, the Alumni Board presented you with a lapel pin as a symbol of your entrance into the alumni community. Wear it with pride. And please know that alumni are still here for you to help guide you and connect you to people and experiences that will enrich your lives and your careers. As you will discover, the Transy alumni extends from this campus to every state and 32 countries and is made up of over 13,000 incredible individuals. We want to be your friends and your colleagues. Take advantage of that. Stay involved with your alma mater and keep informed about what is going on here at Transy and alumni events all over the U.S. The Transylvania motto says, "In that light, we pass on the light." And we hope that in this new chapter of your life, you will join us in keeping the light of Transy alive, and that you will help us pass on that light to future generations. Again, congratulations to you all and to your families on this great accomplishment, and welcome to the Transylvania alumni family. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Devine. Now I'd like us all to recognize the people most responsible for getting these graduates here today. Would the parents and guardians of our graduates please rise and be recognized? President Kerry asked that I share the following thoughts with you today. Science tells us that there is a universe beyond what our senses experience, that cats and cattle and so many others with whom we share the planet can see and hear and feel things that we never know are even there. The arts, humanities, and human sciences remind us that what is true of science is true also of our relations with each other. Against all the obvious facts, we know that there is more to us. Call it self, or soul, or heart, or wish, than the lives we lead or the ways we act, awake and asleep. And yet most of the time, most of us live as if our limits are the true limits of the world, and not the accidents of our fragile bodies. The literary critic Hugh Kenner said it this way: "What you are taking for granted is always more important than whatever you have your mind fixed on." So at this moment, when you leave and we reluctantly let go, my charge is this: pay attention to what you can see with all the skill you have learned. Concentrate on what needs to be done and do it with the furious intellect and singular intensity you have displayed in your time here at Transylvania. But take the time to pay attention to all the things you cannot see. More than occasionally, put down your cell phones and look up in awe at the vast, wondrously strange universe you occupy. And when you do look up and see all the pain and pathos that is, choose to be gracious to one another, to be compassionate, to be generous when grace and compassion and generosity are the last things on your minds. Remember the psalmist who cried out, "How many are your works of creation, O Lord? You have made them all with wisdom." We have sought to teach you to be creatures of intellect and discernment. We have told you that you may not wander in ignorance and small-mindedness. Find the wisdom in others, even when they do not know or care that it is there. Use that wisdom however you can for the benefit of others, even when they do not know they need or want help. Finally, seek justice always and everywhere, but please temper its righteousness with kindness. We are creatures who work and eat and labor and die. It is easy to get caught up in what is and forget that there are infrareds we can never see, neurons firing that we can never feel, experiences that cannot be captured in words or held in memory. What we need most is unrequited care, works that do not need to be repaid, and forgiveness that exacts no price. Go then. The future awaits. Take with you the best you have gained from Transylvania. Give to the world what you have earned and more. Bear witness to the light you carry. Graduates, you may now move your tassels from the right to the left side of your mortarboard. I would now like to invite the seniors in the Transylvania Choir to come to the stage. These graduates will lead us in the singing of Hail Transylvania. You will find the lyrics on the inside cover of your program. Will all who are able please stand? Please be seated. Transylvania graduates, we wish you success, happiness, and a bright and fulfilling future. We congratulate you on reaching this significant milestone. As you embark on your next journey, keep with you Transylvania's motto, "In that light, we pass on the light." We hope you will join us for an alumni welcome reception in Alumni Plaza immediately following the recessional, so we may continue to celebrate this important day and so that our Alumni Association may welcome you into our prestigious network of graduates. Around Alumni Plaza, you will find banners at the top of light posts which represent our academic divisions. This is a great way to meet with faculty and students from each division and can serve as a meeting point for family and friends. The reception will feature light food, beverages, and a traditional Kentucky bluegrass band. Please join us. This concludes our 2019 commencement ceremony. Please remain seated for the recessional. Thank you.